Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Leda and Swan by WB Yeats. So let's start the introduction of the poem. So William Butler Yeats first published the poem in 1928, and the poem is a retelling of the ancient Greek myth of Leda and the Swan, in which the Greek god Zeus takes the form of a swan to seduce Leda, who is the wife of King Tyndareus of Sparta, and Yeats uses vivid imagery to narrate this encounter. So let's have a line to line discussion of the poem. So the poem starts like a sudden blow, great wings beating still above the staggering girl, her thighs caressed by dark webs, her nape caught in his will. He holds her helpless breast upon his breast. Greek god Zeus, he comes in the form of a swan, and he his wings are beating fast, and that means she is about to fall ground. And then he holds her with his beak, that is holding her from her nape. And then he caresses her thighs with his dark webs. Dark webs is like the feet of the swan, which are like the parts, the toes are joined with the skin, like skin, that is called web. And then he holds her with his beak from the nape, and then he holds her helpless breast upon his breast. So without making her fall on the ground, he is holding her in the upright position and hugs her with his wings without making her fall on the ground. Then how can those terrified vague fingers push the feathered glory from her loosening thighs? And how can body laid in that white rush but feel the strange heart beating where it lies? So then he's now coming to narrator is coming to the position of Leda, that how powerless she is in front of the Greek god Zeus, who's in the form of a swan. Then her fingers are so powerless that they are so weak that she can't push him away. And feathered glory is basically used for the swan. And now, how can body laid in that white rush but feel the strange heart beating where it lies? Now he has wrapped Leda in his wings. That is why the expression white rush is used. And then he's saying that the narrator is saying that now he has covered her with his wing. Now he is basically hugging her, and he's saying that, oh, how can she not feel the heart of the Zeus, who's in the form of a swan? Now a shudder in the lines engenders there the broken wall, the burning roof and tower, and Agamemnon dead. Now he basically Zeus, he rapes her, and that impregnates her. And then in the myth, Leda lays 4 eggs, from which people come out of those eggs, and those are Helen, Clementra. Helen is Helen of Troy, uh, in which she goes to the city of Troy with the prince, and the Agamemnon comes to take her away. And then in that pretext, he also attacks the city of Troy. So basically, Helen is married to the brother of Agamemnon, and he uses that reason to wage a war against the city of Troy. So he's now, from this rape, he's taking a sudden jump in the history, and then he's showing the broken wall, the burning roof and tower, and Agamemnon dead. So it's a reference to the Trojan War, in which the city of Troy was destroyed. So now he's saying that, okay, violence only leads to violence. So the birth of Helen is the result of violence, that is the rape of Leda by the Jews. Then that results in further violence, in which the city of Troy is destroyed and many people die. And also the king Agamemnon is he also dies in that war. And one of the person that was born out of those eggs is Clemenstra, who is the wife of Agamemnon. She also becomes the reason why he dies. Basically, while he was in a war, Clemenstra, she takes a lover, and when he comes back, they both murder him. And that's another story in the Greek plays. So let's go ahead. Being so caught up, so mastered by the brute blood of the air, did she put on his knowledge with his power, before indifferent beak could let her drop. Now he's coming to the present encounter in which Zeus is raping Leda. He's saying that okay, she was so powerless, she was so taken by shock by Zeus, that he is asking now, did Leda recognize who that person was in the form of a swan, because he's so powerful. So and that's why he uses this line, did she put on his knowledge with his power, that he's so powerful, this swan, that was she able to recognize it was the god Zeus, before the indifferent beak could let her drop. Now indifferent beak is like he was holding her with his beak. Now he suddenly, after the act is done, he drops her on the ground, and he feels no remorse for doing that to Leda. And that's how it ends this so now let's discuss the themes in the poem. So obviously you would have now certain idea about what are the themes in the poem. So first theme is sex and violence, how without sex without the consent, and which is also rape, how that leads to violence, and that is portrayed through the Trojan War, in which the city of Troy was destroyed, and the reason for that was Helen of Troy. Then the other theme is overwhelming power of nature. That is a reference to the swan, how that how nature has a power to overpower human beings. And god Zeus takes the form of a bird to rape Leda, and that is one of the themes in which he uses the power of nature by taking the form of a swan. Then the also role of fate in human life. It's a age old debate in philosophy, whether we can shape our destiny, or our destiny is already written in our fate, and we are just a part in the playing a part in the great script that is already written. So now in the Greek myth, it was already predestined that Zeus will take the form of a swan and then have that encounter with Leda. Another theme is the interconnectedness of violence or actions. So it's called there is a thing called butterfly effect, in which the theory says that even the wings of a butterfly fluttering in the air can cause major changes. So that's how it is, like this rape, though it's not a minor thing, but it leads to larger things, like the war of Trojan, in which many people died. Now let's discuss the language aspect of the poetry. So again, WB Yeats is known for the use of powerful imagery. He uses strong action verbs like blow, beating. Then he also uses the sensual words like caressed, shudder. And the poetry, there is also the use of synecdoche in the poem, in which the poet never uses the name Leda just in the title, never in the poem, not the reference, any name is taken regarding the Trojan War. It's just that it is referred through synecdoche, in which a part is used to refer to the whole. So in this poem, the poet uses her thighs, her breasts, loosening thighs. That is reference to Leda, and then the broken wall, the burning roof and tower, and Agamemnon dead. That is a reference to the Trojan War using synecdoche. And the poet also uses alliteration in great deal, like in the line, he holds her helpless breast upon his breast. So in this line, h sound is repeated to create the effect of alliteration. I hope you liked the discussion. Please like, share and subscribe for more such videos.